If you want to organize your trip to Prague independently and you don't know where to start, you're in the right place. In this video, you will find out how to buy cheaper airline tickets, how to use public transport, where is the best place to get Czech crowns, which hotel to stay in, what to see in the city itself, how to eat, and most importantly, the best shopping. To learn more about Prague and some other destinations, follow this channel. There are two choices. One is direct flights and the other is connecting flights. If speed of travel is not your priority, I recommend connecting flights because you can save some money. Public transportation in Prague is well organized, is accurate and precise, clean, comfortable, and reliable. Everything is clearly marked and most stations have track 1 and track 2. So it's always clear which direction you should go. Except at the stations where the metro lines connect. But again, everything is clearly marked and you will know where to go. Here is the transfer to line B, and the arrow clearly shows in which direction to go in order to reach it. From the airport, bus number 119 stops immediately to the right, and there are machines for buying tickets for city transport. Switch to, say, English, then buy a ticket, and then there are options for 30 minutes, 90 minutes, 24 hours, 72 hours, and a suitcase. If you have a large suitcase, you need a suitcase ticket. It can be paid in cash or by card. If you don't have Czech crowns, and you probably don't, an option is to pay by card. It can be done with a PayPass card, and it can also be done in the old-fashioned way by swiping the card and entering the PIN. Once you get on the bus, you must validate your ticket, and your ticket is valid from that moment. There is also an application, Pit Litačka, where you can also buy a ticket. This card should also be activated by simply clicking Activate. It has a certain countdown and the ticket is not valid immediately. To get to the city center, you should take bus number 119, which says Nádraží Veleslavin. Go to the last stop and switch to the subway for Depak Hostovar or Skalka. And go to Staromenské Street. You're at the city center. If you're going to the hotel I'm going to, which is Hotel Wilhelm, you'll catch the bus 191. Go to Rosinova station, then go down this street all the way down, and when you come across the mirror, in the right direction, Hostakova Street was my hotel. And there is a taxi option. Uber and Bolt operate in Prague. With Bolt you can choose where you want to be picked up. For Bolt, I have a discount to share. Pause the video, write it down, or type it in your app. Uber Airport is more expensive and UberX is cheaper. How to get to UberX? You have to go beyond the airport zone. Just go straight and reach these parking lots. Only then call an Uber. The place where they will pick you up will be on one of them, and you have to walk to it. The first thing I visited was Prague Castle because it was the closest to my hotel. Tram 22. Get off at Pražský hrad station. Also, there is an announcement in this tram. that this is exit for the castle. Exit here for Prague Castle. When I entered the main square, I immediately went left through a small passage and came across the Cathedral of St. Vitus, which is the most famous building in Prague Castle. It is in the Gothic style and the most important church in this country. Each of these buildings in this castle can only be entered with the appropriate ticket, and tickets are bought at the beginning at the ticket office. I didn't buy, so I don't know the prices, nor did I enter this building. St. Ludmila Cathedral is that big black building that we see at the beginning when we entered the Prague Castle. And if, when entering from this side like me, going immediately to the right, there is this large square. And that over there is a famous statue, the Comrade Masaryk. Everyone was taking pictures on that little wall due to the amazing view. There are plenty of places to take pictures and take selfies. If you're coming from the direction I came from, I think it's smarter to go right first, then see these selfie spots, take a picture there, then turn left in the direction of cathedrals. And go out on the main street. Or do what I did, go complete back. Looked at everything again, took more pictures, returned to the station, on which I got off when I was coming and caught the same tram 22 and went 3 stops to the Malostranska na Mesta towards the Charles Bridge, which is the main attraction in this city. If you're coming from the direction of Prague Castle like I did, you'll be on the west side of the Charles Bridge and you'll want to climb it right away. I managed to resist that temptation and move towards to Jonah Lennon's wall, which is located in the immediate vicinity. It is dedicated to the singer of the same name and symbolizes freedom of speech, which in my opinion is more than necessary in today's world. So I only then returned to the Charles Bridge. It is oldest bridge in this city and built by Charles IV. It is the main attraction in this city and therefore pictures are a must. And as you can see, many people are making pictures here. They stand, look around, and even video chat.
The second most famous attraction is astronomical clock.
At every full hour, at these windows above, the apostles come out, and my enthusiasm is more than obvious. Two young people, I don't know if they go out every full hour or if this was a real wedding. Immediately on the right side, you can see the Old Town Square, which is also popular because people used to take pictures there, so that's how I noticed it. And as far as I can see, Prague ham and Prague sausage were popular, so people were waiting in line for it. From the astronomical clock to the dancing house, I took the tram number 7 and only 3 stops to the Jirashkovo na Mesta is less popular than the previous 3, so it's less crowded, but it's nice to see. The entrance to the Museum of Communism costs about 15 euros or 350 Czech crowns, which in my opinion is a paradox that you pay for the entrance to the Museum of Communism. In my opinion, this museum shows first the initial idea of communism and what it actually means. What was the idea? Togetherness and solidarity. Pushing boundaries into space. Security and a strong army. Healthcare for all. In a society where every person is important. And then, what it all turned into in the end, prohibition of free speech, only one narrative, dislocating everyone who thinks otherwise, heavy bans on movement. This reminds me of something. I think there are those among you who remember these cash registers and these scales. I will not comment on this because I don't think this has a place in this museum. Of course, a city tour is not complete without a tour of shopping areas. For Wenceslas Square and the shopping street, as I called it, get off at the muster station. This is where the green metro line and the yellow metro line intersect. It is completely irrelevant which exit you go to. Each one is good. It leads to this street. The promenade stretches in all directions and has many shops for shopping, with passing street entertainers. Towards that main square, there are also cafeterias. It seems interesting, and for those wondering, it doesn't move. Of course, you can always come across various promotions, like this one. I haven't visited the shops much, so I don't know that there is anything worth buying here. Prices are more expensive in smaller stores in the city and in large markets such as Bole, for example. In the immediate vicinity of my hotel, the prices are lower. Of course, it is well stocked and has everything you need. Open until 10 p.m. every day. Food and drinks are cheaper than in the city center. As for food, I'm not very creative. I eat what my stomach is used to because I don't want to accidentally upset my stomach and spoil the trip. So I'm always looking, wherever possible, Balkan food. I have dinner at the Deliget restaurant, and there, for example, a portion of kebab with 2 drinks costs 20 euros. Restaurant is located in the Old Town, in the immediate vicinity of the Communist Museum, which is open until 20 o'clock. And sometimes I had dinner in the Kavala Tavern. Greek cuisine in this particular case is souvlaki, and again 20 euros. So consider that a good dinner of Balkan cuisine in this case cannot cost less than 20 euros per person. I chose the hotel based on the distance from the airport and the distance from the city center. This hotel somehow seemed in between. I like this one for the price. And this price is for 1. For 2, let's say, that price would go to 150. It would not be double. 120 was for payment in cash on the spot and with free cancellation. I thought it was safer that way. 114 to pay immediately when booking, and 120 with free cancellation and payment on the spot. It opens old school simply with a key. It locks like this. A master switch that turns on the light in the entire room. The bathroom is spacious, with a really big shower. This is the first time I've seen this. I thought it was a chair where a man can sit down and take a shower. What is a big plus for me is this special cup where you can put your toothbrush. In other hotels where I didn't have that, I used a plastic cup that I punctured to make this. Let's say a plastic cup from breakfast or possibly from Starbucks. The bed was made for only 1 person because I was 1 and I had 2 beds. And the bed was quite okay and comfortable. And I must say that the view was not so bad. On each side of the bed, sockets for charging electronic devices. Right behind, hotel slippers that can be taken home. The hairdryer was not installed like in other hotels, but on the side like this in a box. Breakfast is okay. Classic salami, cheese, and some vegetables. With the difference that there is also sausage here. 2 types of juice, but only 1 type of coffee, which is not very good. Teas, of course. Eggs. Fruits. And what is important to me as a Balkan person? Yogurt. Here below is bread. To get to the trams that go to the city center, let's say 22s, 25s, I have to go down this staircase. And in order to return, I have to climb up this staircase, which is not that hard. I think it's okay. But keep in mind that I'm a young guy, and this really wasn't a problem for me. Like any tourist city, Prague has a few tourist traps. The first question is where to find Czech crowns. Logically, the safest way is ATMs. ATMs located in the security zone itself charge high fees and should be avoided. Wait until you leave the security zone. My bank's ATM was in Terminal 1 and I had to walk to it. There are a number of different ATMs, some banks and agencies that I have never heard of in my life, and the only ATMs I have seen. Some reputable banks were UniCredit and Raiffeisen, so I recommend those too. Even if you don't have an account with them, and it is the safest way to get local currency. Maybe the bank will charge you some fee, i.e. conversion. But this is really the surest way to get real Czech crowns. Absolutely avoid ATMs that you have never heard of in your life, especially Euronet. Do not withdraw money on Euronet even if absolutely necessary. And the second safest way is to simply have one debit card, pay everything with it. Withdrawing money in the city itself is also a possibility, but there are some things to watch out for. The person on the left is withdrawing money, and the person on the right is pretending doing it. At some point, the person on the right will politely ask the person on the left to exchange money. And at the same time offer some random worthless money, for example Belarusian rubles. There are also exchange offices. I didn't personally change money in exchange offices, I withdrew from ATMs. In terms of security, I really don't have any complaints. There is no one to offer you anything. As far as I know, this is forbidden in Prague, and in order to go on a tour, you have to go into the office and make an appointment. You've seen the ones with umbrellas. They offer some tours and operate through a loophole. They give a part of their profits to humanitarian purposes, and therefore they are allowed to be on street. I will repeat once again, the security in Prague is several levels higher than in some other countries where I have been. When it was time to go back, I went to that upper station to wait for bus number 191 to airport. It is important to get on the bus labeled airport. The drive lasts a little longer than half an hour, and don't worry about this Terminal 3. Terminal 3 is for those who have their own private jet. It also doesn't matter if you're going from Terminal 2 like I did, because Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 are walking distance. This is where I tried to check in my hand luggage. Who knows me knows that I always do that on the way back. I had a short layover and did not want it to run and drag my luggage. However, I was told that they don't do that. In any case, I had to drag it. I only went through security control, not passport, because I was flying to Warsaw first. And right after it, there is a shopping area where I didn't buy anything because I didn't know if I was going through the security control again in Warsaw. I went with LOT Polish Airlines. I also suggest KLM with a stopover in Amsterdam. And we should also not ignore the Lufthansa. Check the prices and take the one that suits you best.